since we done earned.
Today, we honor the heroes who gave their lives in service to our nation. From countries far away to the skies above our own cities, their sacrifices are the foundation of our freedom. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Russ Spencer.
I'm Courtney Bryant. Today in Gwinnett County, the community came together to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice, including two local heroes who died in the last year. One of them in the helicopter that crashed into an American Airlines regional jet near Reagan National Airport in January.
Fox 5's Tyler Finger was at the ceremony, joins us now live in Lawrenceville with a look at the day's events. Tyler?
Yeah, Russ, good evening to you. Today was about honoring the sacrifice of Gwinnett County service members and remembering two more who recently died. The county has this Fallen Heroes Memorial where those two join hundreds of others who will forever be honored here for their commitment to our nation. The sound of taps echoed in a Gwinnett County auditorium this Memorial Day. It was a reminder that the freedom we hold so dear is paid for with sacrifice.
Memorial Day definitely strikes very close to home for all of us.
Gary O'Hara is the father of U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Ryan O'Hara, who died after the Black Hawk helicopter he was in crashed into an American Airlines regional jet near Reagan National Airport in January. Ryan was one of 67 killed.
So I'm really appreciative of the service that they put out there today. And bringing in the Parkview ROTC, that would have meant a lot to Ryan.
What so proudly we hailed.
At Gwinnett County's ceremony Monday afternoon, Staff Sergeant O'Hara was inducted into the county's Fallen Heroes Memorial. O'Hara grew up in Lilburn and graduated from Parkview High School before he joined the Army. U.S. Army National Guard Specialist Travis Pimeni was also honored. He died in July in a non-combat related incident in Iraq.
We hope that it does help the families. That's what it was meant to, and give the people the honor they deserve.
This was the 22nd annual Memorial Day ceremony in Gwinnett County. U.S. Senator Jon Ossoff joined county leaders because he believes we need to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
It's too little understood that Memorial Day is not just a long weekend for pleasure, but it's the day when we pause to remember and honor those who have given their lives in defense of our country.
While Gary wasn't able to attend Monday's ceremony, he watched online. He says he's still grieving his son's loss.
Today has been a very difficult day. You know, I didn't think Memorial Day would be so traumatic. I almost wish that I had slept through the day.
And this memorial sits right next to the Gwinnett County Justice Center. Gary says he plans to make a trip to this memorial with his wife to honor his son. We are live in Gwinnett County tonight. Tyler Finger, Fox 5 News.
That's so beautiful. Tyler, thanks.
Thank you for giving America the brightest light in your lives.
As the nation remembers those Americans who made that sacrifice, President Trump honored Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery. The president was joined by the vice president and Secretary of Defense as he placed a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. More than 400,000 service members and their families are buried in Arlington.
Back here at home in Marietta, the National Memorial Day Association of Georgia hosted a Memorial Day ceremony at the Marietta National Cemetery. The cemetery offered a heartfelt tribute to our veterans who valiantly served and made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation's freedom. The residents participated in the presentation of colors, prayers, and a gun salute. People from all around Georgia came together today to take part in a 12-mile march honoring veterans and raising money for Shepherd Center.
Men took turns carrying 150 pounds of beer 12 miles in an effort to raise money for the center's mission to provide free support and care for veterans suffering from traumatic brain injuries. Fox 5's Eric Mock joined the group throughout their march. He joins us now from Woodstock. Eric.
That's right, guys. You know, this group started at the Reformation Brewery location in Canton. They marched all the way to the one here in Woodstock, and all along the way they were carrying these kegs of 75 pounds worth of beer. And yeah, guys, let me tell you, that's the real deal. That's pretty heavy. So let me pick up this smaller one here. It was basically full of this beer that the brewery makes specifically to raise money for the Share Military Initiative at the Shepherd Center. Cheers and applause for the more than 60 people who completed a 12-mile march through Cherokee County this Memorial Day, all while carrying these 75-pound kegs of beer. A symbolic burden.
And they carry a heavy burden. So if we can carry this weight today to symbolize that burden they carry and show them it's okay to not be okay, right?
Travis Ellis is one of the founders of Shepherd's Men, who do this 12-mile march every Memorial Day to support Shepherd Center's Share Military Initiative, which provides free care and support for veterans who suffered a traumatic brain injury.
If it honestly was not for the Share Military Initiative, I would not be here.
Turner is a graduate of the Share program and served 2 deployments to Iraq before being medically retired from serious injuries in 2010.
Just to hold a spoon, a fork to feed myself, it was years and years of recovery, but that was the physical side. The Invisible Wounds Award, the things that really, unfortunately, are plaguing us.
Turner says it's one of the only programs out there focused on traumatic brain injuries in vets.
One of the identifiers of suicidal ideation is actually traumatic brain injury. The Shepherd Center has been on the forefront of that.
And the beer they carried, Clarity Lager, is specifically brewed by Reformation Brewery to raise money for the Share program.
$1 of every pour, $1 of every 6-pack bought goes directly to the Shepherd's Men. Last year we were able to do $10,000 donation, and we're hoping to, exceed that this year.
So in addition to raising hopefully thousands for this cause, they say they're also trying to raise awareness for veterans out there who still may be suffering, to let them know that they don't have to do this alone. They're never alone, and that by reaching out, they can get the help they need. In fact, Turner told us that reaching out for help and getting into the Share Military Initiative is what saved his life. For now, reporting live in Woodstock, Eric Mott, Fox 5 News.
Important message and a great effort on their part. Eric, thanks so much. Well, happening now, the long holiday weekend wraps up today, and that means millions will head home from their Memorial Day weekend plans. AAA estimated nearly 1.4 million Georgians traveled at least 50 miles from home this weekend by car.
And let's take a look now at the Grady Curve. See, traffic is moving really well now. AAA says usually right now until 7 p.m. is the peak time to be on the road as people head home from their holiday.
Now a live look at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, which is also extremely busy right now. Officials say today they expect about 350,000 travelers to fly to, through, and from the airport, with somewhere around 100,000 of them going through TSA checkpoints.
And to kick off the long holiday weekend, the TSA set a new record on Friday. More than 114,000 travelers passed through security at Atlanta's airport. That number shattering the previous record of 111,000, which was set back in April during spring break. All right, let's show you this live look outside as we talk about the weather on this unofficial start. In honor of Memorial Day, the story of a Marine veteran's widow on a mission. That Metro Atlanta woman has collected hundreds of flowers to place at Georgia National Cemetery to make sure those lives are not forgotten.
She was back out there today placing those flowers. Fox 5's Rob DiRienzo found out how members of the community are pitching in to help.
Well, Emily Farmer was walking around the Georgia National Cemetery here in Canton when she realized a lot of soldiers don't have anything next to their final resting place. So she made it her mission to change that.
You got your scissors handy?
A resting place for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice just got a little brighter.
I'm gonna put the green right there.
On Memorial Day, Emily Farmer was hard at work at Georgia National Cemetery.
Okay, and I'll move these yellow ones over here. My husband was a Marine, and he was a wonderful man. He's my hero.
Her husband of 54 years, Marion Otis Farmer, passed away 2 years ago. When Emily started bringing flowers to his columbarium, it struck her it looked pretty empty.
Yeah, it broke my heart when I saw those markers and nobody had flowers, no flag, no nothing.
So she started taking matters into her own hands.
Let me have those crazy looking ones that have the web on them.
Emily began collecting and placing hundreds of flowers across the cemetery grounds, along with palms on Easter.
One lady told me she's getting married in 2 weeks. She's going to bring her wedding flowers out.
Emily says local florists and Kroger have pitched in, donating their surplus. She's also made some new friends along the way.
You know, that's how we met. She saw me putting them out, and she came over and helped me at the columbarium.
It's her little way of brightening a place where those who serve this country come to rest, including Marion.
not only him, but all veterans, because of their sacrifice, giving their lives for their country. They deserve the very best. So I am not able to do as much as I'd like to do, but I'm doing what I can.
Emily made it clear to me her work is not over when Memorial Day ends. She says she could use all the help and flower donations she can get. To learn how you can help, head on over to our Fox Local app. In Canton, Rob DiRienzo, Fox 5 News.
Important for him to know how we're able to live in a country that's actually free.
Memorial Day festivities took place all around the metro Atlanta area today. In Gwinnett County, Dacula held its 31st annual Memorial Day parade this morning. Leading the way as this year's Grand Marshal, 102-year-old World War II veteran James Davis. Veterans, organizations, marching bands, scouts, churches, and local businesses participated. Each year, volunteers carry signs displaying the names and photos of more than 300 fallen heroes.
And the festivities continued in Dunwoody, where the city held its annual Memorial Day ceremony at the Veterans Memorial at Brook Run Park. Air Force Major Rick Sheff served as the keynote speaker. He's an F-16 fighter pilot with more than 1,000 flight hours and more than 300 combat hours in missions across Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. Major Sheff is a Dunwoody native and a graduate of Georgia Tech. In Roswell, hundreds gathered for the largest remembrance ceremony of its kind in the southeast. The special tribute included songs, prayer, and education.
Well, Fox 5's Alexa Liaco was there. And Alexa, you spoke to veterans who say that education is really a key part of today's tradition.
Absolutely. Right? They said it's so special and important to come together and honor their fallen friends and comrades. But bringing together the sons and daughters of the American Revolution to bring out all these kinds of educational tools to teach kids about everything from the Revolutionary War all the way to modern warfare tactics. They say it's one of the most special pieces of today, just seeing kids and young people really recognize how hard our soldiers fought to give us the freedom we all enjoy. A somber remembrance brought the crowd of hundreds in Roswell to their feet this Memorial Day.
Serving the military is a great deal of responsibility and a great deal of a decision to do. And when you do it, I feel as though you're always going to be remembered.
A ceremony Petty Officer First Class Michael Cartwright was proud to show his family.
I want the kids to know that, this is our life, this is how we came to be, and, this is why we're here.
The Rotary Club's tribute included song and prayer for the fallen, prisoners of war, and those missing in action.
So, Lord, could you tell him he's more than a name on a wall? As I love America, I think America is the greatest country on earth, and it's that way because of the people who were willing to serve, and especially so for those who died.
The Rotary Club hopes this year and into the future more young people will join their club to carry on this meaningful tradition. It's an effort Iraq War veteran and new Rotary Club member Frederick Levy is leading.
I was a part of the first part of the war, so my tour was very dark, but coming back home really brings the light back.
And he hopes more young people see the light that community can bring on days like this, because our military needs more support than ever.
We have a recruiting slump right now across the nation, so I think just having the youth come out and see this reverence, I think that is very important for that to carry on as well, because we do need our young service people to show and be a part of what's the future going to be for this country.
And the Roswell Rotary Club not only holds events like today's to honor the fallen, but they have events all year long for veterans, including special dinners and fundraisers to send veterans on honor flight trips to Washington, D.C., all for free. So a lot of great things today, and so many kids and young people and a lot of parents saying, hey, come on, let's go thank those vets standing over there. So a really special kind of community feeling in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I know people kind of treat this weekend as a time to just grill some burgers and kick off summer unofficially, but it's so important to remember why we have this day and why we recognize it each year.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Yeah. All right. Alexa, thanks.
Alexa, thanks. As we remember all the service members who died for our country, it's important to also remember the thousands who are still listed as missing in action.
One government agency is now reaching out to the public for help finding those missing loved ones, looking for a DNA match. Fox's Caroline Shively reports.
To the millions of men and women who have served in the U.S. military, "No soldier left behind" is more than just a slogan. It's a promise.
I want you to know, and I know from my own experience, that if something's happened to you, we will be looking for you.
Over 81,000 American service members are missing in action. The number is slowly shrinking thanks to the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency.
They still commit to the legacy of those that we've lost on the battlefield, bringing them home, identifying the remains, and making sure the families have that closure.
The DPAA is a government team of historians, scientists, and archaeologists who scour the world's battlefields using old-school field methods and cutting-edge science to identify missing American GIs, like Army Air Force's Staff Sergeant Edgar Mills, a 25-year-old gunner whose B-17G bomber was shot down over Germany in 1944. Fragments of his remains were found in 2018 and brought back to Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska for identification. Then in 2023, buried at Arlington National Cemetery.
We haven't heard anything.
Others are still waiting for their loved ones. Julia Davis Wheeler's uncles were captured in the Philippines in World War II, then sent to a Japanese POW camp as part of the Bataan Death March.
They got to the camp, and Alvin was so sick that he just couldn't hold on anymore.
Julia is one of the thousands of civilians who have had DNA samples taken by the U.S. military in the hopes that someday their missing family members can be identified. A sacred mission this government agency will carry out until the last soldier makes his way home. Caroline Shively, Fox News.